This time on Woody's Garage, that guitar is haunted.
Okay, it's days later, and the only progress I've made is I put 3 screws with toothpicks in the old holes because the holes were kind of wallowed out, and new screws. And I've given things more thought, which is necessary. And one thing I thought is right now, the action is right down there. It's good, and it doesn't fret out or anything. It's, you know, really nice, really low. But so is the bridge, which means, like, you know, down the road, if, you know, the guitar settles out and the action starts to come up because the neck's going forward like this, I'll have no adjustment. So, but also I feel like I'm at an extreme almost with this neck angle. I don't know why I feel that way, but I don't want to make this heel like any thinner. So I said, well, I'm not really ready to glue up, but I don't quite trust this one screw. So I thought, well, let's add another screw. Because of this beautiful sound hole here, I might be able to get my hand in there. I gotta take the strings off and find out if I can. I think I can. And put another screw up through and put an insert into the neck rather than an insert into the body. I'll take it apart and I'll show you what I mean. But, you know, I'm also thinking, like, you put 2 screws in here and they might fight each other. You know, another one here, like, it might start pulling the neck apart and crack it right along here or something, because this is kind of vulnerable here. But hold on a second, let's take a peek inside. Off with your neck. This is what it looks like in this. Really kind of ugly. You can see how it dips down here and it's higher up here. And this side I just leveled out by sanding it. That's the insert I put in. Basically, you drill in and then you screw this in. That is a hex head, so that's what you use to screw it in, and there's threads inside of there. Now, I don't want to put another one here because you'd end up like way up here, which is crazy. So, oh, there's the, by the way, this doesn't have a truss rod. This is a steel enforced neck. This thing, and it kind of moves a little bit. You can kind of see there. So it's non-adjustable, but the neck's pretty darn straight. And this is what I'm holding it in with, this Allen screw, and it's got a washer inside of there. And that hole's a little wallowed out to, you know, give it a little bit of flexibility. Now I'm thinking for the hole, I'll drill it right about here, and I'm going to make it also like a little bigger than the screw, although I don't know what size screw I'm going to use and how long it should be. There's a neck block. I'm going to stick the camera in there, see if you can. Yeah, that's probably the best look if you can see anything at all. But there's a neck block in there we got to drill through. And I have to figure out what the length of the screw is going to be. So that's kind of what I really wanted to do today, is drill a hole straight down, take something like a nail so that I can measure the length that it needs to be. And then as far as an insert's concerned, I don't want to go with something as beefy as this. So we're probably going to have to go down on screw size. Not that big, but something much smaller. I even thought of using like a wood screw or something like that. Another factor too is when you reach your hand in here, put like a Phillips screw or a regular slotted screw head in there is incredibly hard to get into. So a hex head like this is probably your best bet, or something like it. I forgot what they call a square one, Stetsons or something. I don't know what they are. Canadian style. Square, I mean, that would be pretty good too. But let's drill a hole and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this by holding it and just trying to get it straight. I want it right there. I don't think that made it all the way through. See if I can get my hand in there. Yes, I can. Oh, maybe it did get all the way through. Okay. So we're gonna go bigger than that, but that was just the pilot hole. Yeah, turn the camera off and think. Okay, we just kind of made the hole a little bigger, so now we can probably get a nail through it and then measure the nail. It's incredibly hard to find the hole, sticking the nail in there, and you can see it's not as straight as I was hoping it would be, but we'll take the magic marker and we'll mark it right there so that we can get the length. I don't know how long the screw should go into the neck, if you know what I mean. So, to this flat surface here, it's 1 5/8 inches. And then we'll have to determine how long. So the screw's got to be at least 1 5/8 inches long. Now I could use a screw like this. It's like Torx or something. And just screw that in. And that would do it, you know, but if you have to take it out, put it back in, you know, take it out again, it's, you know, the hole's going to get kind of messed up. Also, I don't have a hole drilled, a receiving hole on the neck itself, and I'm not quite sure I'm going to do that. When I was thinking about doing this, I said, okay, I'll put something, I'll drill a hole down a little bit, and then I'll put like a nail in here that would, oh geez, sorry, that would protrude up, you know, like just a little bit like that. So when you put on the neck, it would just make kind of a little mark on the neck, so you'd know where to drill a hole to put the insert. So right now, I think I'd have to put the neck back on, stick the nail in there, and give it a little tap, and that's how we'll make our mark. But I'm still pondering the insert, the wood screw, what I'm going to use on this. I don't know, what do you think? Stupid idea? I don't know. So in the meantime, I may actually give this a couple of days thought again. I'm not quite sure. I got this problem here with the back. Someone stuck glue down there. I think I mentioned that. And so I came up with this little saw. This is a strip from like aluminum foil box that I just pulled out of the box and stripped off the cardboard. And I'm kind of using this. This is about the only thing that'll get down there, and trying to cut the glue away. Ask me how it's going. It sucks. It's gonna take forever. But I mean, the only other thing I can do is just jam Titebond down there and, you know, have it just be bulged out like this, which might end up being the deal. But yeah, I've made a little headway with this, but fucking not a lot. It takes like forever. Okay, I threw the neck back on, and I got the nail in there. And somehow I pushed it with my finger to try to make a dent, but somehow I don't think that's going to be enough. I need something to give it a little bump. Okay, I took this, put it under there, and tapped it with the hammer. And hopefully now we can get the nail out. It isn't maybe stuck in there, huh? Let's see. Good thing I got little wimpy hands. Because, oh yeah, I got it. Definitely went in there a little ways. Let's take the neck back off. Okay, and there is our mark right there. Pretty on center, really. But that's going to come up right about here. So how deep, you know, do you want this to go in? So you can see how like off the angle is here, but how perfect it is. I had to come to that angle in order for it to fit on the neck. You know, it was wobbling back and forth. I had to bring this side down a lot more than that side so that it would fit on the warped body. But anyway, to get back to this, it's like, you know, I can't have a thing that's as big as that, you know, insert that's as big as that. So I'm starting to lean towards a wood screw again. But also, let's see, hang on one moment. Also, I was thinking of this, if you can even see that. This is an insert that's like a helicoil. It's made, I think, just for metal. I don't think it's really made for wood. But you could put it in there, in the wood. And it's got threads on the inside. And it's kind of threaded on the outside, too. Now, I'd probably get rid of that little piece. That's just made to kind of screw it in. And that would kind of work. How this would hold up in wood, I don't know. It may, you know, get loose and then it would just spin or something like that. And then you'd be stuck with a thing stuck in the neck and you'd never get it off. So I think I'm going to take a trip down to Lowe's and see what they got for their smallest wood inserts. There's one I saw online. I'll show it to you. Yeah, this one right here. This one looks smaller, and I can get it in. I think the smallest is, well, I'm not sure. Because this is what I used, I believe, before. This one right here. And I think it's a lot beefier than this one. So, I don't know. I wish you had something really small. Okay, we're back from blows, and this is what I came up with. 832 inserts. Got 2 of them. Got these 2-inch 832 screws. And I decided to get some wing nuts. And of course, when you go to Lowe's, you know, people always pilfer them. They take one, stick it in their pocket, and they put the package back. And it was the only one they had. So the nice lady at the counter gave me 10 cents off. Anyway, so the plan is I'm going to put these, that would be the wing nut, on the screw. And then put a jam nut on it. A nut after this. So that I can use the wing nut to screw it in the tight quarters. Hopefully the wing nut can swing in there. I think it can. If not, I can grind it down a little bit. But this, and then we'll put another nut over that so that it can't move. And then I can just turn it in like this, and I won't need to get a screwdriver or some kind of crap in there. And they're 2-inch, so, you know, I'm already taking a little bit here, which is kind of sketchy. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I should have gotten something longer. Oh boy. Okay, according to Hillman's website, it says you should use a 13/64 drill bit, which I have right here, but first off, I'm going to try one smaller, the size smaller, which is a, what was it? A 3/16, just to, you know, because I'm scared. Okay, taking my mini square here, putting it on the body, making a line with a grease pencil so I know what straight up is from the block. Or is it going to be more back? I don't know. Is that right? Or should it be more like this? Yeah, that's kind of curved. Well, gadzooks, I'm not sure. Okay, here's our pilot. I mean, I'm just eyeballing it. Scarier one. I am following that line that trying to follow the line that I did with the square. Hopefully it's not fooked. So then you take this thing. Yeah, I'm going to need to go out another size. Hillman was right, 13/64. Well, at least so far. Should have put a piece of, oh, you can't even see that. I should have put a piece of tape on this so I knew how deep I was going, but I think we're good. We're about, let's see, we got a little room to go there. I don't think it's going to go in that far, though. Oh. So this just screws down in here. I'll show you that when I get it done. Okay, I got a few screwdrivers. I'm going to start with one with kind of a wide blade. Maybe a little chamfer around here. Use a larger drill bit just so that the thing can get started. Yeah, like that. Hopefully that didn't do it any harm. Ugh. Damn. I mean, I took like, I didn't mean to go that deep on it, and it just went that deep. Oh yeah, now the insert's like broken. Like almost broke the camera. Like part of it just broke off right there. Huh. Yeah, look at that. Fucking Jesus. Cheap junk. It's brass, well, we got the majority of it in there. We're going to have to file that off, I guess. Son of a bitch. Okay, we filed it down. Then we gave a little love tap. Kind of like this. Just sink it in a little below the wood. You can see it looks a little cockeyed. Looks good that way. So I had another thought. How about we cut off the head and stick this through the guitar just like this, and then put a wing nut on it? I mean, that could work. Like I said, as long as this is long enough. I hope I don't have to go back and get a longer one. But I think we're on the right track, which is good. I think putting a nut on here, it's going to be too short. The selection down there at Lowe's, you got a million things, and like, except for what you're looking for. And then when you find what you're looking for, somebody pilfered the package. Uncivilized world we live in, I tell you. I could also put Loctite on this thing, on the wing nut, and I wouldn't need this, at least I don't think, until I do, of course. Oh. Yeah, so that's kind of my idea there. How much will we have? Well, 11 inch and 5/8, which is just making it, so no, that's not going to work. Shit. Ay, ay, ay. Should have gotten longer ones. So that's how much we got without the wing nut. The wing nut would add that much. I don't know. It'd be, you know, if you could get a screwdriver on that inside. Well, maybe I can. Let me give that a try. Okay, I got frustrated like really quickly trying to get the screw in there, so I decided to cut the head off, put it in here. It's not Loctited or anything like that. It's just screwed in there, and see if it even goes down the hole. So this may be a sad surprise. I don't know. There we go. Wow. That went in friggin' nice. I'm pretty good. I like that. So, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take this out of here. If I can get it out of here. Yes, I can. I'm going to put some Loctite on it and screw it back in. And we're going to go from there. Give it a few minutes to dry, and then I'm going to put a drop or two of super glue on it. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way and get all sloppy. I have to get out the chisel or something. But another thing I got to work on next is the wedges underneath here. I've been working on with a piece of cedar shingle. This side is different than this side, of course. One thing about the wedge here, a little fucking awfulness of glue and wood chip here, which makes things uneven. And I don't want to break this whole thing out and lose the finish, although, you know, so much of the finish is gone. See if I can get that cleaned up. So the shingle is thin, but it needs to be thinner. So I have it all sitting on a piece of sandpaper and sanding it. Maybe it'll, you know, keep it from moving. Yeah, this is going to be painful. So pull up a chair. I mean, it's going to be so thin, it's just going to probably break. But one side is a pretty normal looking taper. The other side is a little more dramatic. Well, normal side taper, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'll show you when I have some results. Yeah, I'm working on these, like, you know, smaller size wedges. They're not going to go all the way across. They're just going to kind of be on the outside for support. This is the one that's got to be fat to thin, like really quick. The other one I got in there, it looks pretty good. I don't know. Okay, this is pretty far from decent, but I don't know if I'm going to do any better. I mean, they're not truly necessary, but I'd like them to be there. That one's way better than this one. But I don't know how the heck I could get that right. So yeah, with that in mind, I think maybe I'll take a break like I have been doing. But another thing I've been thinking about is we got these patchy places here that I was thinking of using, where are you? Some veneer that I have, you know, to patch it up. It seems to be about the right thickness. You know, I make this line a little straighter. That's probably the easy one. This one is, oh, that actually looks pretty straight, but you can see how it's all shattered down here. Now the back definitely has some places that are separated down here, but they're not that bad. You know, they can be clamped and glued, which maybe is something I should just do like now when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for the neck. And I do want to put binding on it. I've never put binding on anything. I'd like to try to do that. But as stated before, also, this is the most problematic place. This is nasty. I do want to try the wing nut, and the only way that seems to get the washer on there is to put a piece of blue tape on it. So I don't know. We'll see if we can get them on. Kind of a test fit anyway. God, I almost get it. Then your fingers kind of slip on it. Feels like it wants to go on. Oh no, I can't see a goddamn thing. Yeah, maybe over here you can. Yeah. Another idea would be to use a regular nut with a nut driver to kind of hold it. This is what we got. Maybe some tape will get on the threads and actually help somehow. Jeez, I can already tell this is not fun. Okay, well, I'll give you an update when this is the idea. It's going to take some time.
Try something else.
All right, next idea. Wing nut on a pencil. I did get a washer on it, just by hand. Opening this hole actually kind of is giving me a little more control for the second hand. I'm actually on it. Yeah, and that's pretty tight too. Pretty snug anyway. Okay. Okay, don't want to do that again. God, my hands are killing me. The neck doesn't look like it's sitting as pretty as it was before, but it could be these friggin' wedges, you know? I think these wedges ought to be like reconsidered. Where the hell did that go? Reconsidered for later. It fits on there and like that, so that's pretty good. It's about as snug as it really needs to be. In a way, it's a pin, you know, to keep things from going this way and that way. Okay, so I brought it into the studio here. Decided to put the strings on. I don't have an E string, and I'm using the B for the E string just so I can see the neck alignment. And I wanted to bring it up to pitch. Let's see if it's in tune. I tuned it up just a little while ago. A little flat. Strings are 100 years old and have been on and off this thing like 15 times. So they're really dead. I'm just gonna ignore the E string for now, because it's probably gonna snap if I try to tune it up. Intonation. It's a little to be desired there. It's a little sharp up there, but that all needs to be adjusted. But I would say this is really a major, not a win, but a plus. I mean, the neck is solid. Will it break because there's no glue holding it? I don't know. I hope not. But yeah, we can move forward. This way I don't have to glue the neck on in case it needs more adjustment in the future. I just find the neck goes zoop like this. You know, then I'll wish that I didn't glue it on. So not being a luthier, you know, not knowing what the hell I'm doing, it's in pretty good shape. I have a nut on it that is shimmed up with pieces of plastic so that it clears the first fret. So that's not ideal either, but it is coming along. Pike works.